What's the worst thing a teacher has ever done to your child? I was at work when my daughter's teacher called me. Your daughter split her classmate's head open. She was throwing rocks at him. I went numb, not knowing what to say. I told her I'd be there immediately and started driving, angry at her but also at myself for clearly raising her to think this way, okay? But when I got to the principal's office, my daughter saw me and started belting, "I didn't do it, Daddy, they're lying." She looked terrified, eyes red and puffy, hands shaking in her lap. I felt it in my gut she was telling the truth. But Mrs. Lane, her teacher, looked right at me and said that girls Mia's age are good at manipulating their parents and asked me to think about this rationally. So I did. I sat down beside Mia and put my hand on her shoulder. "I didn't do it, I was at the art club, Dad." "Please," the principal cut in. "We're taking this very seriously. This can't be tolerated." That's when I told them, plain and simple, I believed Mia. If she said she didn't do it, then she didn't do it. Immediately, Mrs. Lane's face tightened, like she wasn't used to parents actually siding with their kid. She told me I could believe Mia's lies all I want, but she did it and was getting suspended for 3 days, effective immediately. This crushed Mia. That night, she barely touched her dinner, and while sitting beside me, Mia opened her phone and showed me texts she was getting from classmates. "You're so mean. I'm gonna throw rocks at you next." Stuff like that. There were group chats lighting up with rumors. Someone had screenshotted an old photo from a field trip of her frowning, posted it with "psycho" written on top. The day after her suspension ended, I called the school counselor and arranged a meeting. We went in early with Mia. She brought a folder with her, and in it there were some papers. Her art club sign-in, showing the date and time she signed in, coincided with the time she allegedly threw the rock. The counselor, Ms. Rhodes, looked at it briefly. I expected her to dismiss Mia too, but she actually listened and asked Mia to tell her story from the start. We left the office feeling hopeful, but then, as we were leaving the school, I saw Mrs. Lane waiting by the front desk. She had clearly seen us arrange the meeting and asked to talk to me privately. I stepped aside with her, and she again asked me if I was seriously going to believe a hormonal teenager who wants to avoid consequences. "You mean believe my straight-A student honors roll daughter?" "Of course I am." I didn't say anything else, just left. But despite me believing Mia and telling her I was on her side, seemingly no one else did. The rumors and the messages wouldn't go away. Mia's friends wouldn't reply to her texts, and when they did, it was only to make fun of her. Some kid even taped a note saying, "Watch out," to her backpack. At home, things were beyond tense. Mia's older brother had even gotten suspended for getting in a fight with the kid who taped a note to her backpack, and we ended up having to talk with his guidance counselor too. After weeks of seemingly no progress, Ms. Rhodes, the guidance counselor, finally called me. She said she'd talked to Mia's art teacher. She confirmed Mia was at her art club when the incident happened. "It's clear Mia didn't do this. I'm going to the principal." The next morning, Mrs. Lane stopped Mia at the entrance. She told her not to stir up drama and to accept what happened. My blood boiled when I found out. That same day, I got an email from the principal inviting me to a meeting. He said, "There has been a misunderstanding regarding your daughter." At the meeting, Ms. Rhodes laid out all the evidence. My daughter's art teacher spoke up in her defense. Ben, the kid who was injured, was on his very first day back in school after getting better, and he said, "I never saw Mia throw anything. Why was she blamed?" What's strangest about that is just how furious Mrs. Lane looked when he said it, almost like she wanted Mia to be found guilty. But after a long conversation, the truth eventually came out. Turns out, the whole reason Mia was blamed for this is because the person who actually threw the rock was Mrs. Lane's own nephew. Mrs. Lane decided to cover him and instead pinned the blame on the most quiet, shy, and reserved girl in the class, thinking she'd be an easy target. That girl just happened to be my daughter. I was absolutely outraged. I wanted to sue, but the school board apologized profusely to us and to Mia and offered an upfront compensation of $20,000. They promised they would revise how accusations were handled, that all teachers would have extra training, and that they'd fire Mrs. Lane. I saw her start to stammer as soon as this was said, and when I agreed to the deal, she damn near fainted. She started begging, saying it was a mistake, but it was too late. Mrs. Lane was gone the next day, and the truth came out publicly too. Mia's friends started texting her again, and a lot of the people in her class apologized to her. She's come out stronger on the other side, and I'm so proud of her.